One big problem that I see is happening in the world, has been happening for a long time, but also a big problem that is the same for companies, special big companies. And I see it a little bit about Bitcoin and altcoins too. I'm going to jump into this in this video. I'm going to do my best to make it effective. My name is Michael. This is PLUSZEKS Crypto Corner, and let's dive in. So I am on my next book here, learning about crypto, learning about Bitcoin, learning about fiat, about cash, about how the world is running. And one thing came to my mind. There was two things that I took from this book, which is actually a really good book. So I'll put the link below here if you want to read this book, if you haven't already. Actually, let me know in the comments, did you read this book before? The fiat standard question, put it in the comments. So let's see here. There was a couple of things from this book that I'm going to share with you because it comes down to the same thing. One thing that do bother me a little bit with Bitcoin and altcoins, with crypto. See, on page 34, cipKZ, I don't know how you say his name, Amos, he writes here, a complex web of government rules and regulations determines how an institution can obtain the lending license that allows it to issue loans. So, and I'm just going to take one more line here. These rules and regulations are typically promulgated by central government, central banks, the banks for international settlements, or the IMF. What I mean here is the word complex, okay? But I'm going to take it one more step here. And this comes very good together with what's happening in the world right now, what's on the front page many days, and probably it's going to be coming to our eyes again and again and again and again. The word is inflation. The word is recession now. And this leads me to the next thing here. So on page 44, if you want to look it up. So I'll take a couple of things here that he writes, the author. Since lending is effectively the mining of new fiat tokens, there's a strong economic incentive to issue debt. And this is what's going on right now. You've probably seen this, that central banks, the Fed in the States have been printing money. And I'm just reading this here in the book. So let's take this another step. Here's two more lines. The short-term economic boom from credit expansion is all that a politician cares about, as the long-term consequences will likely be left for their successors to deal with. So again, this is from this book, the Fiat Standard. I'm not finished with it, but I highly recommend it. Now, the thing for me here, what I'm reading in the book is that it's actually a good business, or it's a self-fulfilling prophecy for the government, central banks to print more money all the time. And with that comes the inflation. I'm not going to dive too much into this here. The thing that I'm going to dive into is the word complex, because I've been an entrepreneur for many years now. My whole life has been around building businesses, growing businesses. It's a bit about development. And the thing is that complex is what I say and see, it's a problem. So for me to read, like, I think it's 6-7 books now, the last couple of months, about understanding how the world is run when we speak finances, kind of like a problem it's difficult to really understand it. There's a lot of things to understand here. And this takes me to a life example from today, which led me to do this video. She spoke with a woman, and this woman, she's working in a company called SAS, Scandinavian Airlines. Probably you know them. It's a blue SAS on the planes. The thing is that Scandinavian Airlines has been not going so well for many years. The government has been helping them like they did with the banks. They helped SAS. It's Scandinavia, so Sweden, Norway, and Denmark. Right now, they need more money because they cannot pay their debt. And they are not the only company right now that cannot pay their debt. They are out figuring out what to do. They ask the governments. The Swedish government, as I understand it, has said no now, so they need more money. The Danish government has not decided, as I know. But the thing is, what really hit me when I spoke with this lady today, she said she's been working there for, I think it was 25 years, 26 years. And I asked her, so what do you think is the problem? She's a crew, as I understood it. And she said, you know, Michael, the administration is too big. There's too much things to discover, to find out from the head to the other, you know, below. There's too many layers to get through. And I asked her a little bit more about this, and she said, she didn't say it with these words, but that's the word that made me do this video. It's too complex. It's too complex. And I was like, yes, that's the problem. And like I started in this video, if things get too complex, well, it's not good because nobody really understands it. Nobody really knows what to do, and it's not effective. And my mind likes effectiveness. My mind likes to, that's been my whole life, likes to figure out how to do things with least resistance. And complex is not least resistance. So, and I've seen this with other companies that I've been helping, but also companies that I've been reading about. Probably you know a couple. If you can right now think about a company, put that in the comments. Complexity is a problem. So last thing here from this one, I said that I also see a bit of a problem with Bitcoin and altcoins right now. So this weekend, it's Monday as I speak today, this weekend, Bitcoin went down to 17 something, and Ethereum went down below 1,000, and a lot of altcoins went down. So last week, I put out a couple of videos about a potential crash. This weekend, many would call that a crash. It was even on the front paper here in Denmark. I'm not sure if we're safe. Time will tell, because today also on the front page, it was the Deutsche Bank has said that we will go into a dark recession, as I've been saying for some time now, and also that it could come much faster than what was expected from United States. That was what I read in the article. So what does this have to do with Bitcoin? What the word for me here is complex. So the thing is, the more that I understand it, Bitcoin is not that complex because there's a code, there's miners, and it's working like it should be. It's working like it should be, but it's complex in the way that it's difficult for a lot of people to really understand it. So people who don't like or are afraid of or heard something about Bitcoin or altcoins, about crypto, and have not looked into it, they don't understand it. But for someone who is into Bitcoin to really talk with another person about this, it's a little complex to really get them to understand it. I hope this makes sense, because I know there are people that are really into crypto that would say it's not like this, but it takes time. It takes time to understand it. So I'm just saying here, you know, if you saw some of the other videos, that I'm into mass adoption. There will be a time when mass adoption hits. When that hits crypto, it's going to do like this. And you really would wish that you've been, you are in crypto. But to speed this up, to make sure to understand it all, to make sure to really understand why is the foundation of Bitcoin and crypto so beautiful, the whole foundation of especially Bitcoin here, it takes a lot of effort, at least to do for me and a lot of people that I've been speaking with about this. So I hope this makes sense. And I also hope it makes sense. I'm really just sharing. This is the whole idea here. I'm sharing what I'm learning. I'm sharing my thoughts as I'm learning. So it's not financial advices. It's not me telling you how the whole thing is. I'm really sharing my own ahas. So I hope it makes sense. At least for me, it does. And I think I got more time to look into this than many people has. So please put in the comments if this makes sense for you. Is this too complex or does it make sense? And lastly today, if you like this video, I can take this off now. It was just to reading. If you like this video, please give it a like and do subscribe to the channel if you want more of these videos. And also I got a free email list. You could just sign up. It's down here. Now, people ask me, Michael, if I'm not that much into crypto, if I want to like step more into it, what should I do? Two things, and I'm doing very fast here. Number one, educate yourself, read books and watch my videos. I'll put the links when I talk about books below. That's number one, read, learn. Number two, like if you want to see if the swimming pool water is cold or hot, put your toes a little bit into it. Just not looking at it, put your toes into it to feel it. And this means just a little bit. I'm not saying don't go crazy with this, just a little bit of money into Bitcoin or crypto, but I would suggest Bitcoin at the beginning, just to understand the whole thing. So those were the two things. And that's it for this video. I hope you think it was effective too. And I look forward to share my next thing. It's MichaelPluszek here, and I see you in the next video, and bye.